Hey guys, aidandabest here, and welcome to another video, and today I'll be joined by...
Jacob Barto, well met, lads and ladies.
Yes. Whenever I do this with people, they're I'm like, are you gonna speak? They're just like all
Yeah,
dead.
because normally what happens is that you cue the person by saying their name and they say hi, but it's
Yeah.
fine if you want to do it the other way. Just warn people first, usually.
Yeah, I'm not. I am very professional. Yes.
Naturally.
Anyways, today we will be guessing kind of where I guess Phoenix Drop Days failed as a series, you know? Like, yeah, I mean, well, Jake has whole reviews on the season, on the whole series. I said season, like there's gonna be a season 2. Who am I kidding?
No, I doubt it, considering that it was deemed a failure by the creators
Oh
themselves, I
yeah,
think.
it does kind of annoy me when I was like, ugh, this series was a failure. I mean, it may not be generating as much views as you want, but as long as it's making at least a little profit, isn't it worth it, you know? And you're having fun with it. I don't know. I would
I
understand
mean,
if you...
clearly there was a lot being thrown at it. I mean, the visuals were absolutely astonishing in some parts, especially
Yeah.
during the foresty bits, the whole like cinematography of the
Oh
setting
yeah,
up
and
of
I love the butterfly bit. Where in the
coming.
like when we actually saw the butterfly and the branch visual. That visual was amazing.
Yeah, see? So clearly effort was and dedication was being put into it at first.
Yeah, but in general, I felt like where it majorly failed was the finale. Like the series was very slow in its pacing. Episode 1 set up the whole concept, and it was a very slow burn arc about Hunter trying to talk to Annabelle. I was like, what
I
is her
suppose there's
name?
something I suppose there's something ironic about the arc being slow paced when it's all about a runner, but
Yeah,
yes.
that is very ironic. But like, it was
Hmm.
very slow paced with like its story at first, till we get to the finale. But like with him like getting close to Annabelle and like having multiple like plans to come up with it, you know. And like by episode 10, they actually started to get close. And so kind of like with Kiori's running arc, like I mean, it wasn't. It was kind of brought up multiple times, you know, and kind of like the whole point, you know, of why the characters came together and really worked together. I mean, I will say something about Kiryu's voice acting. It didn't feel as good as Hunter's because Hunter's was amazing. Seriously.
Well, oh yes,
Yeah.
I definitely became an avid fan of Jonas Scott after that
Yeah.
performance.
Does he do any other performances?
Oh, I'm sure he does. Yeah.
Well, you know what? I
I
need to
haven't
find his other
investigated, but
work because, like, I love his voice and, like, the way he voice acts. It's amazing.
yeah.
But, like,
Well, there you go.
yeah. Definitely. But, like, Kiori felt a bit stale at time. Like, I mean, I get she's kind of more of a cynical character and more laid back, but, like, sometimes it just felt like the voice actress wasn't trying as hard as every other voice actor. You know? I don't know.
Hmm. I will say that Kiori as a character. This is something I said in my first review actually at the very end. But Kiori as a character was a refreshing change, even if the performance wasn't pulled off as well as it might have been. But the actual character, it was a different protagonist to what we'd seen up until that point. Because usually what aphmau is best at is the protagonist is the person who wants to be completely normal, but suddenly supernatural thing or hijinks ensue and they get wrapped up and they become really popular and revered by a bunch of people. Um, you know,
Yeah.
and thus reverse harems occur. But in this instance, it's the complete opposite because Kiori wanted to stand out. That was the first episode, was called Standing Out, if I remember correctly. And that was her whole idea that she was in a way, cursed with normality as far as that goes.
Yeah. Her whole
So
family and stuff. I don't know. I just. You know, like, she was an interesting, refreshing change. But, like, and then, like, the other character is decent. Like, I mean, I will say, Ruby did get a bit annoying at times, but she was a decent character. You know?
it was hard to know what they were going for with Ruby at times,
Oh
especially when
yeah, I
suddenly it
mean,
was
like
revealed
honestly,
that
like did she like Hunter? Did she just really admire him? Like, I mean, I'll do that. Like, listen, I'll do that with people I like really admire. Like, oh man, hi, wow, you're super cool. That's how I be with people that I admire. And I'm like, wow, I don't know. I just want to impress people sometimes. And I can relate that. Or maybe it's meant to be, oh, I'm crushing on you so hard. How can I impress you, senpai? Senpai! I go into like full yandere Aidan. Ugh.
Yes, there was a certain yandere aspect to Ruby, except that it wasn't always played that way. It was like they looked at Hunter as a captain, as a leader, rather than as a love interest until around episode 10 when Snowcoming happened and she kind of crashed the whole event.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. It was like her arc kind of just got cut short because the rush finale.
Everything got cut short. Yes.
Yeah, and honestly, Copa wasn't even that big of a threat. Copa did nothing, or Kappa. No, I said Copa. Why did I say Copa? But
yes, that's true. Although, yeah, I mean, it is interesting that the aphmau was so concerned about Copper at the time, and well, I was concerned for her because I don't know if you've seen when you've seen my Copper rap, but
Yeah.
the people watching it can see my Copper rap where I mention aphmau specifically as an example of someone who might be affected by proxy. As it turned out, that wasn't the case, but even back then, it was something that you thought, well, this might end up happening, and would that be the end of the role plays? But
Yeah.
the whole thing is that it was the fact that it was set in a game. That there was the issue, and clearly aphmau still makes family friendly content using Minecraft. So I ask, really, what the difference is.
Honestly, her content now is more kiddish than originally. Seriously, I get kind of annoyed by her prank videos. Like, today I'll prank my friends by being a magical unicorn that could break blocks and place down stuff and
yeah, the problem with that's a whole different problem in itself. The fact that obviously most YouTube pranks are fake anyway. But even the live action pranks that had the novelty of being live action, obviously everyone had to agree to be in the call in the first place, and you have to wonder what their instruction was. If not, you're going to be in a prank video.
Yeah, like what? Do you just want to hang out on my server while I go do something else completely different while I record a video? Like,
yeah.
What? Like, what? And also, like, wouldn't you have to change your name tag? And plus, you'd have to pre-establish having a pet, and it would just be a whole mess. So that was
get people to install the plugins. Yep.
Yeah, it's just like, you really have to think through. Like, you have to just jump through so many hoops to be it. Plus, it's not the fact. Plus, you did it multiple times to them. I think Full Me.
Anyway, we're getting off topic. Phoenix Drop Days.
Oh yeah, that. But I felt like the time the finale hit, it just so freaking rushed. Like, I mean, I don't understand why people, like, some people were like, oh man, wow, I can't believe she had to include aphmau. Like, I mean, I thought the whole aphmau episode was decent and a decent excuse to actually include aphmau. I didn't really get why people were so salty about that.
Yeah, I mean, that is taking advantage of the actual setting, because, yeah, I was expecting aphmau to show up eventually in the series. I mean, yeah, that was
Plus, we haven't seen the character since season 6, episode 15, part 3.
Yeah, well, in fact, Jess herself actually said that there were going to be characters in the background that we recognize. I mean, Garth was in episode 1. There was, I believe, Lucinda showed up as well.
Yeah, I don't know if that was Lucinda, though. I don't know if that was Lucinda.
I mean, it might not have been, but, I mean, chances are it was, because... why not?
I mean, there was a continuity error of, like, the outfits. Like, the outfits were from season 2.
Yeah, season 2, yes.
Yeah, people are, like, I don't understand how people can't pick up on that. Like, the season 1 outfits had, like, the gray thing. What is it called? What is that thing around that they're wearing? The sash? The gray sash? Is it a sash? Yeah.
I don't know if it was a sash or not, but there is a difference. Well, the season 2 ones are definitely more detailed, which fits with the higher visual style of the series, but is a problem with the timeline, which is another issue actually. Why was this set during aphmau's first year, during her freshman year?
Because the thing is, episode 9, but that's the only real way that timeline came in.
Well, yes, but even then, you have an opportunity to give people more Phoenix Drop High, which is what they were kind of looking for. It was almost implied there was going to be Phoenix Drop High season 3 before they specified it otherwise, so people were kind of expecting that to be a thing. So why not then go into the junior year? We can see what Zane did with the Shadow Knights. We can see aphmau and Caitlyn having their experimentation phase that was hinted at several times in
I
2015.
thought that happened in college. I thought, and wait, no, it was hinted at during 2016.
Well, regardless
Oh
of
yeah.
when it was hinted, it clearly happened prior to that
Oh
happening,
yeah,
which was
because that wouldn't
season
make
one.
sense. Because I mean, it either happens after FC University, well, after like season one FC University, like before the 2 year time skip, or I don't know. But
No, it's,
besides,
it's, it's definitely it's definitely they're definitely either well, yeah, it's definitely at university or in high school, and I've made a theory before about this actually that it was in high school. So yeah, we can see that kind of thing happen. Different things that we've had said mentioned that happened during the high school days that we never saw yet. It would have been a great chance
yeah,
to see that happening in the background. I mean, yeah, by all means, focus on Kiori and Hunter, but one thing that aphmau is great at is bringing in more characters and having them have separate stories and making the series longer,
yeah,
which
but
is
like
almost
another
100%
problem with like, but like here's what maybe like I don't know with it like there are other no sorry. But like maybe I don't know, like it would be good during season 3, but I was kind of disappointed by Phoenix Rep High by the way it and well not the way it ended. Like Phoenix season 2 actually ended well, and I actually quite love season 2. I don't know, I just love learning about werewolves and like having aphmau having like a arc about responsibility and stuff, and I felt like that worked really well. But like with season 3, like they set up all this backstory during FC University. It would have been interesting to actually have a season 3 though. I would have preferred just having a season 3 over FC University. It wasn't bad. The ending of FC University just felt rushed and felt like they didn't resolve all the arcs. Like they didn't resolve the Luke X Caitlyn arc, the Garx X aphmau arc. They didn't resolve
Well,
like the
that seems to
aphmau
be
being bullied arc. Well, harassed, I
that seems
guess.
to be a reoccurring issue with a lot of
Yeah.
related content.
Yeah,
But
but
yeah, so
I mean,
yeah,
even with
season three
season,
again,
yeah,
another opportunity they missed.
yeah. I mean, why not just do season 3, but like include Kiori in Hunter's story? That would have been an interesting way of doing it, you know?
Yeah, well, again, or have Kiori and Hunter take the foreground,
Yeah,
as was the idea, but have other aspects going on in the background. I mean,
yeah,
there's no reason that there's no reason that Kiori and Hunter might not have ended up crossing paths with the Shadow Knights, for example. That like the new Shadow Knights that Zane created. Again, that's something that was clearly something that was very important to happen with Zane, and we never got to see. It's like an interesting like missing link that he has.
yeah.
But I
Well,
think actually the reason that they set it in the freshman year, all things considered, is probably because they wanted Aaron back.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
oh yeah,
give the fans a little bit of what they want, except for the fact that a lot of fans didn't actually want that because a lot of fans have become disgruntled with the fact that aphmau takes a lot of the center of attention. And
oh
yes,
yeah.
they're
It
the main
definitely
characters,
takes a
and as I
lot
said
of.
before, several characters making the series longer and feel more full, like the world is being lived in by other people. So, yeah, seeing them again for the sake of that simply, when they're not the main characters anymore in this setting, uh, probably is what started like tuning people off.
I mean,
Maybe,
yeah,
maybe
I
at that
definitely,
point
but I
they
did
decided
enjoy
to
the
bring
joke
it.
about the line aphmau said like sometimes the person you're closest to with it sometimes the person you hate the most or something like that it turns out you're someone who gets closest or something like that, kind of hinting at their storyline during season 1. That was a decent joke in
Yeah,
the
which is
finale.
actually a line that she says in season one.
Sometimes you don't even realize you like someone close to you.
Watch where you're going.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like in general, when it came to the finale, like the finale just felt rushed. Like there were several filler episodes, like episode 9, episode 5. What was a major filler episode?
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with filler episodes
Yeah.
as long as they're balanced out with the more serialized episodes, which, of course, because it was cut short, is no longer the case.
Yeah, I mean, if you
So,
want to, like, I don't actually mind having filler episodes, but if you're gonna have a really short story and you're using, like, at least a quarter of that time for filler, it's just like, no.
yeah, and again, yeah, we know it wasn't the intention because of Jess posting in a community tab that they cut it short because of because it wasn't getting well received or whatever. But to be honest, that's not really a reason to do that. I mean, honestly, I will say I'd be a bit hypocrite here because I have ended series before that didn't get good reception, but even then, on that kind of scale, they're still going to be making profits regardless, and also Copper didn't turn out to be that much effective in the first place. So if anything, they could have put the series on hiatus or do something else that made the ending actually satisfying. Because suddenly, as you said, the series was very slow paced, but the ending was anything but. So suddenly you have one episode that's trying to cram in all the plots they wanted to miss out on just for the sake of including them at the very end, even though that wasn't going to work properly. And lo and behold, it didn't.
Yeah, I mean, also I felt like it's kind of stupid how Hunter fell in love with Kiori. Like, she was like, oh yeah, we're friends. It's like, what? We're friends? Man, I'd fallen head over heels.
I wouldn't have minded seeing that necessarily over the course of a longer time. Like, there was something they hinted. Maybe after they got together with the other guy whose name I've forgotten now. Like, after the snow coming, I mean, where she had the dancing bit. If they started hanging out more, which was something that Kiori said, actually, then maybe Hunter's jealousy started to appear. I think that was probably the original intention. I mean, I will say it was refreshing to see the two main characters weren't actually in let's see, you're interested in each other romantically, and they were of opposite genders. That's very rare.
Oh yeah, that's why you have Reina and Julius, best friends who do not like each other at all.
Exactly. No matter how much people ship them, they're never ending up together. That is official now. So
I mean,
But yeah, so that's why I've been pushing for more of that in media, because it's something that is missed out on quite a lot. And the thing is that including that crush at the very end fails on two levels. One, on being something unique and refreshing for aphmau, instead of having, the two characters that are upstairs being randomly involved in each other, etc., etc. And also because Kiori doesn't feel the same thing, and suddenly we have one plot in the middle of there, right after Annabelle starts being interested in Hunter, where he's no longer interested, and so it turns out that no one is happy at the end of the season.
Yeah,
except
but like it's super sad though. Like, we literally had Annabelle start to actually feel for Hunter, and then just moves on, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, I don't like you anymore." Logic.
Yeah, exactly. So
I mean,
if most of the characters are unsatisfied with their ending, then chances are most of the audience will be as well.
I mean, and actually, like, here's the thing. I wouldn't have minded at episode 10 as finale. So here's what you could have just did with the finale if you noticed views were low. So you could have took maybe had a scene, a long scene after the prom thing, or snow coming, not prom. It wasn't prom. that takes later in the year, and aphmau and Aidan were together by that point. But you could have had like the whole like track thing the next day, or like the next maybe cut to a week later at that track thing, or like Hunter's like, "You go, Kiori." They like fist bump, and then she just goes racing, and then bam, and then she gets on the track team, and then by the end they're like talking, and it's like, so I guess our partnership's over. And Hunter's like that, and then Kiori's like, well, I mean, we're still friends, right? And then he's like, yeah, we are. And then it cuts to them walking off in the woods, and it ends there. That's how you could have ended it. Best way of ending it.
Yes, like that. Maybe Annabella's waiting for them and actually greets them both equally, and we finally get to hear her say Hunter's name. Which I know we did that in the one episode 11, but that could be the moment, actually.
Yeah, and then maybe she asked him out, or he asked her out, and then bam. Wow, we made an ending, and we didn't even need to make an extra episode, and that would have added 5 more minutes on to Snow Coming? It wouldn't have changed the episode too much,
Yeah, seems like Phoenix Drop Days Abridged has got to be a thing now.
Yeah. I mean, if I would make it a bridge, I would just have Hunter be like, "Hey Annabelle, I ain't into you anymore. I'm into Kiori for some reason, because reasons."
No. If we were to have an abridged series, then it would definitely have to be a more satisfying ending than that.
Yeah. I could edit a bridge series. I'll find a way to edit a bridge.
There you go. You heard it. You heard it here, folks. 5 likes and he will make an abridged series of Phoenix Drop Days.
Yes. But what I'm saying is it failed, and I mean, I do like to rewatch some episodes occasionally, But as but the ending just inherently ruins it for me, you know? It ruins
Yeah, exactly.
episode
So it's not a bad series. It just got ruined.
Yeah.
It's kind of like how long running shows that the shows tend to have really disappointing final seasons because they get renewed when their stories are complete or something like that. That happens a lot in TV. But in this case it wasn't. It was just one season, 11 episodes, and one episode too many.
Yes.
So yeah.
So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe. So yeah, and maybe this will become my most popular video, because I do not understand how my Minor Demons discussion is my most popular video. I don't get it.
Wow, you want an aphmau discussion video to overtake an aphmau discussion
Yeah,
video for the most popular one. That makes sense.
I prefer this to be my most popular video, if anything.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, and go subscribe to Jacob, because I voice act and appear on his channel a lot. Yeah! If you want to see more of me, just go to his channel. So yeah, bye guys.